Okay.
In the words of a disgraced former news host, fuck it, we'll do it live. Oh,
She's still giggling.
yeah, no, like,
That was funny.
I broke her brain, dude.
Not yet. Not yet. My brain's still there. It's mush.
Oh boy.
So, nothing's changed. Got it. Uh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm good. I'm good.
It's good. Golden.
Alright, everybody shut your mouths before I put you all on mute. So, welcome everybody once again to the State of the Empire for the 22nd of February 2020. That is a 2/22/2020. You got enough fucking twos in there? Ain't gonna get something this ridiculous again for a while. But I plan to live forever, so I will have your descendants in the Empire, and on 2/22/2222, I'll hold a meeting just like this one. Alright? When it's all twos across the board. If you can't tell, I'm going half off the cuff for this one, but we do have some things to get down to. So, as always, hello and welcome to everybody who chose to attend. These meetings do help us to provide a degree of channels of feedback, offer a sense of transparency, offer you a bit of insight into some of what we've been working on, to welcome our newer members, things like that. I know there's probably a couple people who haven't been to one of these before. And I'm just going to jump right into it. So, for the record, in attendance of tonight's State of the Empire, we have Sharkbait93, Tutorfish, Senator Destro, Draketh, Pastici, Wigglesworth, name I haven't seen in a little bit, but I haven't been watching the right channels probably, Epic Friar Yoshi, Senator Thor 1986, Saul Blaze 05, who shows up to like every one of these and then disappears for the week and then comes back, Nielsen, The Wimpy Hot Dog, Merc Angel, Novasef X, Senator Drosila, Deer Jr., which, by the way, I saw a video of a deer just plowing right through some guy earlier today, and it made me think of you. They were in a parking lot, and this deer just comes out of fucking nowhere, leaps through the air, and like clips this dude in like the fucking chest, knocks him flat on his fucking side in the middle of the fucking parking lot, lands on its fucking knees, hops back up, runs off, and the dude just jumps back up to his feet like, what the fuck just happened?
You just got deer jacked.
he, he got run over by a deer. I'm like, what the fuck? It was beautiful to watch. I'll see if I can find the clip by itself. And of course, as always, I am Emperor Farrison presiding. First order of business, I'd like to apologize for the lack of a State of the Empire last week. As I stated, I spent basically the entire fucking weekend, all of my usual prep time included, helping my grandparents move.
You're
And
such a
doing
good
so free of
boy.
charge, unfortunately. But that's all settled, taken care of. They're more or less settling in and happy over there. So my schedule's back to what it was. And I've been spending just about every spare waking moment working in Blender developing my 3D modeling skills. And there's some secret projects on the back burner there. Some of you have been privy to a couple of screenshots from my workflow.
Oh yes, very nice.
And you will all be seeing more in the near future. And once I've got certain subparts of that project up to, we'll call it an acceptable level, I will be declassifying the project. course, I've got this quote-unquote classified project that we still have yet to give it a cool, shadowy project name. So we're doing a really fucking bad job of keeping a secret shadow government in the Empire right now. We're not even doing the cool parts. But,
That's funny.
for a limited time, if you choose to donate to our subscribe star, the money goes towards paying a former CIA operative whose only goal was to name secret projects. That's a joke,
Oh,
obviously.
shit.
I have to be clear when I'm joking when money's involved. You know how it is. Now, moving forward and back into a bit more of our normal flow, we're going to go right into
Right.
welcoming our newest members and covering promotions. Well, that's a little obnoxious. So, it's going to be a little bit of a longer list because I had to backlog through 2 weeks. But new this week, we have something. Yeah, okay, so that needs to be removed. I'll fix that in a moment. We have Namiri ZA, Noldemort, what a fucking name, Mobby, Zara's dad, Gekido 13, Chris Allen, Peter P, Black Raven, Bomber the Clown, Cutie Fang, Big Ollie 01, Zyrion, Sivius, Shockway. Do you know the Shockway? It's literally spelled Shockway. So I'm going to bring back some dead memes, because that's what I do. Cal, Priz, PJ Salts, Nobu, Gremlin, who I need to backhand because I'm going to have to start banning freaky-ass special characters that don't appear on a normal QWERTY keyboard, because trying to fucking at you motherfuckers is giving me a headache. Please use normal... What is even the name of that alphabet? I guess it would be Latin.
Yeah, it's Latin.
Anyway, use shit that shows up on an English keyboard. Plain and simple. Toaster, Phantom, Drax, the Mark III. You know, honestly, just reading that name aloud sounds so much better than looking at it. The Mark III. Sounds like a new bomb. Zyphor EX, DLG Extreme, and Deck. Now, I called this by going through everybody who has actually completed the basic registration process and has achieved the rank of Kamat Grade 1, and by combing through the onboarding channel. So I don't think I should have missed anybody. If I did, they're free to bitch at me in DMs. So, a warm welcome to all of our new members. And then we're going to move right on along, because I had a lot of website registrations to go through the past 2 weeks, which was also nice. And was something I was doing right up until about 10 minutes before the official start time. So, I had a fun day. The following people have completed their registration and are thus being promoted to Kamat Grade 2. And that will include Bomber the Clown, Big Ollie 01, Shockway, Sivius, Cal, Priz, PJ Salts, and Nobu. So, an extra warm welcome to them since they've already taken the next step. Next up, I have a couple of enlisted promotions to hand out, and I'm sure I'm missing some that need to be handed out, and I will be, if you do not hear your name called at all today, and you feel that you are deserving of a promotion, please hit me up in DMs. It's been a hell of a 2 weeks, and I'm sure somebody has slipped through the cracks. The system's not perfect. But, first up, we have 2 people who are promoted to Repicar, and that's going to include Monkey Man 731 and Zero. Congratulations to both of you. Beyond that, we have 1 promotion to Photomar this week, and that's going to be Epic Friar Yoshi.
All right.
You've been here, as far as I can tell, about daily. You've made one hell of an effort to be part of the group. I believe I've seen your name come up in a couple of our operations reports, which, again, I encourage everybody to file those if you're playing with the group. Let people get credit for being part of the group and doing things. It's incredibly helpful. That actually covers the small number of enlisted promotions. We've seen a lot of activity from people who have climbed the ladder. Like I said, I know for a fact there's got to be somebody who's missing in that list, and I haven't been able to go through and do Legion assignments just yet either. I will be looking through the list and contacting people to discuss their reassignments to 1st and 2nd Legion, either later tonight and possibly through tomorrow. But we do have a handful of promotions in the realm of our non-commissioned officers. Being promoted to Dracaris, we have, of course, Senator Thor 1986 and
Okay.
Mickey 5.
All right.
I see both of you on regularly. Mickey 5 has showed up in no less than 7 operations reports in the last 2 weeks. He currently holds the most mentions in operations reports for any given time period. So he was going ham the past 2 weeks. So congratulations to both of you. You are now officially in the realm of the non-commissioned officer. Think of this, for those of you who are slightly less familiar with military terminology, you're basically a sergeant. Technically usually starts around corporal, but we're going to call it sergeant because we have a couple, and we've broken things up a certain way for a reason. It'd be slightly more accurate to think of it that way. Moving along, I've actually got an extra set of notes in a composition notebook at this point. I'm not even kidding. We have promotions to Ancrix. This will include J.Al and Senator Destro. I've been watching things fairly closely. J.Al is incredibly active, and I believe he probably filed most of the operations reports. He certainly posted a fair number of them. And then a chunk of them, I believe, also came through from Destro, who also has been incredibly active. He's been very gung-ho to help the group. I've been seeing him attempting to help people in the onboarding channel. He has been pretty vocal in my direct messages asking if there's anything he can do or if there's anything I need him to do. And we like to reward initiative around here, which we will be coming back to Destro in particular. And finally, for our non-commissioned officers, I would like to promote Ailerons to Killath. He's been here for quite some time, and while he's never fully taken on 100% officer responsibilities, he actually does bring me around to a short tangent where I would like to offer complete Imperial congratulations to the 14th Legion. It so far is shaping up to be the first Legion that Frodo and I have not personally built up that is showing frequent activity and is showing fresh recruitment. So my congratulations go out to Ailerons and, of course, the promotion. and to Novus FX for basically taking the reins on trying to make the 14th Legion into something that might just start competing with the Destiny Legions for activity in the near future. So y'all better watch your ass.
Hmm.
I can feel just a tiny hint of salt from Deer when I say that.
Mm.
I have his back.
Now, this will actually move on to one promotion to the cadet program, and I would like to welcome Senator Destro to the rank of Zakrix, and I would also like to smack whoever's causing all of that. Just going to turn that down for a moment, because I don't need that in the recording. So, Senator Destro, welcome to the Imperial Academy. I will be getting in touch with you shortly to basically offload some of our wisdom, and you're well on your way to becoming a full-time officer. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And of
Congrats,
course,
man.
that segues nice and smoothly to officer promotions, of which we may have one of the largest in a single, or in this case, I guess 2 weeks, that the Empire's ever seen. Promoted to Sulevix, we have callsign Sparky. While many of you may not have seen a whole lot from him, he's mostly been meme posting. He is part of our secret projects, which will be revealed soon. I just want to make sure that I've got enough going to show you guys something, because it's going to be very visual.
Awesome.
It's going to be very visual. And a few of you have seen some of the early hints of it. In addition, for the past, I believe, 2 weeks, maybe a bit longer, the Wimpy Hot Dog has been acting as a cadet and an assistant officer in the 3rd Legion, and has, from what I have heard, just been doing a great job. Genuinely a great job. The 3rd Legion doesn't really have anything to show for officers, and the Navy has kept Warlord Frodo incredibly busy. And as a result, much of it has fallen on the Wimpy Hot Dog's shoulders. And while we haven't put him through a fully developed academy course, I dropped the bulk of what he needed to know, and I think it's safe to say he's performed excellently in his trial by fire. As such, Wimpy Hot Dog, I fully grant you your Imperial Commission. Welcome to the Officer Corps.
Good stuff, man.
Congrats.
And I can say much the same for the final name on our Sulevix promotion list. Nielsen, I have just been watching the Discord. You've been active. You've contributed. You've been helping people on board. You've been taking care of things wherever you can. We've been watching all of it as closely as we can from way on high. And your name has been submitted by a couple of people in the mid-ranks who've noticed the work. Likewise, I think it's safe to say you've survived your forging in flame, and we're happy to offer you your Imperial Commission, bestow upon you the rank of Sulevix, and welcome you to the Officer Corps.
Thank you.
Finally, we are moving on to a number of people who have been officers, have been serving spectacularly well, and they deserve this. So, We're going to start right with one of the most noticeable. Novasef X. You crazy Islander bastard. You glorious, glorious nutcase. Who hopefully hasn't gotten coronavirus from an Amazon package. Everything you've been doing to spearhead the 14th Legion, to get it built up, to still help and contribute in Destiny, taking care of one Legion is not particularly easy in and of itself. Putting a hand thoroughly into two is a feat that many people cannot manage, and a balancing act that many of the greatest circus shows probably couldn't pull off. So, it is with great pride that I bestow to you the rank of Chakras. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job,
Thank
man.
you. Thanks a lot.
And yes, the officer promotions do tend to be a little bit more vocal, but I think a little pomp and circumstance doesn't hurt when you've climbed that high. Moving right along. While I haven't discussed any of these promotions with your commanding officers, I'm sure they won't mind. Senator Drusilla, you have been just going above and beyond. And while we completely understand that you can't necessarily be here every day for hours a day, life circumstances are what they are. When you're here, you have made an excellent bid to be part of this group, to contribute, to uphold our culture, our values, and our top tier shit posting habits.
And our
You've
sick
got
sense of humor.
you've got the metaphorical thick skin to hang with the worst of us and to come through the other side laughing. It's not overly often that women really make it in gaming organizations, especially ones that are currently very heavily male dominated and very heavily focused in shooters, which again are quite heavily male dominated. So what you've done here is nothing short of an achievement. Your continued efforts to help our membership improve in the Crucible, to drag people up through comp to get their Recluse, a weapon that for much time was rather coveted and not very thoroughly distributed among members of the Empire. I could go on and on. Finally, the fact that even though you came here with a friend who unfortunately has turned their back on the Empire and did deport himself, you've stuck through with a loyalty that only a couple of other people in this group have managed to match under those terms and conditions, under those trials and tests. Many people will tend to leave when a friend leaves, especially if they joined the group with that friend or because of that friend. It speaks volumes to the bonds that you've formed here, and hopefully to the integrity of the Empire, that like a couple before you, you've chosen to stay. And for that, I am immensely proud to bestow upon you the rank of Chakras. Congratulations.
Yes, congrats. Congrats so much.
Thank you.
I'm also making the formal recommendation that starting next in-game season, Deere appoints you as his executive officer. Not a shot at Deadpool, but obviously he's not here as much. He's not heavily focused on Destiny as much. He's got other things he's doing. And I do believe he is a college student, is he not?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so that keeps him quite busy. And the amount that we have seen you put in, ultimately the decision is Deere's to make.
I've
But I
already
am
decided
making
on that.
the formal recommendation.
I've already put that into you, actually. Check your DMs.
Seriously, thank you both.
Oh, yeah, I haven't even. That's just something that I had kind of had on the back burner of my mind for a while.
Yeah, well,
So-
I've already talked to her about it. That I was like, yo, I want you to do this.
I would say great minds think alike. However,
Yes.
I will suggest that you wait until the start of the season. That way she can
Yes.
serve out the remainder of her term as senator, and we can get some new senators for the legions with the new season.
That's what we had talked about, and she agreed to it.
Yeah.
All right. It sounds like everybody's on more or less the same page, which I'm glad to hear.
Yep.
Last but not least, we have Merc Angel. I have not been overly active in Destiny for a little while. In fact, I have not personally really played video games for more than a handful of minutes at a time for the past 3 weeks about, because I have been positively balls deep in Blender, and I have not found time to really do anything else aside from helping my grandparents. And for that, by the way, to everybody, I would like to apologize the fact that it doesn't seem like I'm here more. I am working on a lot of unseen projects in the background, and I have a great degree of confidence in our officers, our NCOs, and our core and experienced membership to hold the group together even if I'm not micromanaging. And the
Thank
fact that
you.
this group has done so well with minimal intervention from me in the past 3 weeks fills me with a sense of pride in what I've built and a sense of pride in all of you for what you have been able to accomplish and for my ability to pass those reins along somewhat and begin decentralizing the power structure. Just a hint, giving you the autonomy that you need to get work done. The fact that the 3rd Legion is sitting at 75, 76, possibly close to 80 members right now. The fact that the 2nd has been consistently performing well. The fact that the 1st is well on its way to being rebuilt. All of these are great. And I have seen a fair degree of activity within Discord from Merc Angel. I believe I've seen him helping out in the onboarding channel a fair number of times. Am I imagining things? Let's go and
No.
have a look. So I'm pretty sure I've seen his name coming up right alongside Nielsen over and over again. Let's see. Merc Angel. Merc Angel. Merc Angel. Scroll up. There's a bit from Destro. A bit from Frodo. Merc Angel. Novasef. There's Deer, a bit from Thor with the dog there. Some Destro, Merc Angel, Merc Angel, Merc Angel. Merc Angel's practically been our onboarding guy.
Yeah.
Right alongside Nielsen and some help from Destro. And all of our officers have been doing a pretty fantastic job with it. So I only felt that it was appropriate to recognize this. And overall, I felt that Merc Angel's attitude and his behavior here have been conduct very becoming of an officer. And, like the last 2 before you, I am proud to bestow upon you the rank. I wish I had a drum roll, to be honest, right now. That'd be amazing. The rank of Chakras.
Thanks.
Congrats, man.
Beyond that,
Congratulations.
that actually does cover our promotions and welcomes for this week. Again, if anybody here did not hear their name called, did not show up in the list on promotions, and feels that they've been working hard and deserve a promotion, please DM me. Additionally, as I said, I'll be going through and looking to handle some additional Legion placements for people who have been here for a couple weeks with the 3rd Legion, and getting you out of the Training Legion and making you fully fledged members of the Kaldaran Empire. If anybody feels that they themselves are ready for that very distinct honor, please DM me. I have a small list to go through here. I expect to see it expanded over the next handful of hours. That goes for anybody currently present, anybody watching the YouTube live feed from home, shit, fuck, pissy, piss, cunt, motherfucking, assin, tittycocks, dick, the FCC can lick my taint. I think that should keep us firmly out of the intended for children category, because I'm not paying $42,000 to the FCC for this shit.
Fuck the FCC.
Fuck, cunt.
Fuck them.
Rat shit, bat shit, dirty old twat. 69 assholes tied in a knot.
Chicken shit.
Anybody want to throw anything racist in for extra measure? Let's see if we can just get banned from YouTube while we're at it.
No, I'm good.
You bitches are my niggas.
Wow.
And there we go. Now
Oh,
and
and
All right.
kindly lick my balls, you worthless communist fucking shit sacks. How dare you have the fucking audacity to stand on a pile of nearly 200 billion corpses in the past 120 fucking years? Eat my ass.
There it
And
is.
Elder. I mean.
All right. I think that covers it. I think we're quite safely in the realm of not appropriate for children.
Yes.
Very much so, yes.
Although, I don't know, there's some really twisted people out there, so who knows what they might say. A lot of them work for our government. So,
More than.
I would like to say, while a little classified project of ours is not quite ready for reveal, it's coming along nicely, and a few of you who have been made somewhat privy may start receiving a full set of details in the near future.
Ooh, I feel special.
Yay!
And there is
Yeah,
a
that's
very
cool.
distinct possibility that in the coming weeks we will roll it out to... We'll roll this knowledge out in a briefing to officers and to the Senate. I believe it's only fair that the Senate knows what we're getting into. All of you will be sworn to secrecy in advance, because I don't want to leak too much until the time is right. But I will be slowly leaking a couple of things here and there to build some excitement. Sparky knows exactly what I'm talking about.
yes, I do, and I'm not spilling any of the fucking details. So don't try to bribe me. Although bribes are pretty nice.
And boom, we just fell down to the level of communist countries in terms of corruption. Anyway,
Hey, I'll take your
Romania.
money. I just won't give you what you expect.
Ergo, communist
What
country.
a fucking Romanian. Goddamn gypsies. Anyway, jokes aside, that I'm sure somebody will claim is somehow racist, even though it's a cultural group and not a race. That's a distinction some people don't appreciate. I do want to take a moment on a much more serious note, and I do want to remind everybody, coronavirus is no joke. The number of confirmed cases in the US has remained fairly stagnant for, I think, a couple weeks now, which implies that we may have it under control. But the Chinese are booting their economy back up. Recent evidence suggests that it can survive on surfaces for an extended duration. We're talking, I think, potentially upwards of a month. So, a Chinese worker in an unfortunate province somewhere on the mainland who's contracted coronavirus and it's still early and they don't know can cough on a cheaply manufactured product that can be shipped to the United States, come through, get to the store, sit on the shelf for 2 weeks before you buy it, and still have coronavirus alive and well on it and ready to infect.
Yeah.
AKA a teddy bear. Because they do make most of the
They
stuffed
make
animals. Just keep that in
a lot of things. China is obviously one of our top trading partners, one of. And
Thank you, Nixon.
the fact is, we joke. I'm not interested in blaming the Chinese as a race or an ethnicity. I place all of my blame solely at the feet of the Chinese central government. That's my personal opinion. You're all welcome to have yours. But with all the jokes aside, do wash your hands. Do not touch your face more than necessary. Try to keep that to a minimum. And I again suggest that everybody stock up on, if you can, some purified water, canned goods, dry grains. Get a big old bag of dried red kidney beans. Think salt, iodized salt. You're going to definitely want that because if coronavirus hits your town, people may start to panic and the store shelves will get wiped out. Think of it not as an end of the world apocalyptic epidemic. Think of it like the announcement that a hurricane is on the way. And you're not desensitized from living in Florida. People are going to panic.
Oh, damn.
Store shelves are going to get wiped out if it gets bad. There are hints that even if you catch it and recover, it may not immunize you, and that you can catch it again. There are hints, supposedly, that it can cause sterility in males. There are hints that allegedly people are just dropping dead because they caught it, recovered, got reinfected, and the second time just killed them. No pneumonia, no symptoms, just dead. That one may be... That one's still entirely rumor. I don't have any official records on that one. And normally I don't preach in the state of the empire about anything going on in the world, but the last thing I want is to get news that one of you fuckers had to get buried because you got killed over by viral pneumonia from a disease that leaked from a Chinese biolab that's basically knockoff Umbrella. So, I think we've got a platform with a number of people listening, and it doesn't hurt to put the word out there. We've already had a close call with one of our members nearly, getting killed off by his own internal organ.
Yeah. I wonder who that is.
I wonder. So I'd rather I didn't have any of you getting buried anytime soon. Because you're a bunch of assholes, but you're Kaldaran assholes, and we love you for it.
Your favorite asshole.
My favorite asshole is your mom's, but...
Don't sweet talk me there, bro.
Oh my god.
Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. Bye!
Ba-da-bum. Oh, you're aware that the U.S. cases jumped from 15 to 35 this week?
No, I didn't see that.
Yes.
When did that happen? Because yesterday it was still at 15.
I'm assuming today, but I think 14 of those 35 are actually in one of the Air Force bases where they brought the evacuees to.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I stand corrected. It's up to 35.
Yeah, they're all It's off the cruise ship, the Princess.
Okay, yeah. And
Yeah, the people
potentially,
they-
yeah, okay, I got you. So hypothetically, these are people who are already brought back and placed into quarantine, and these are not cases that have been out and wandering about.
Yeah, they're not wandering about, but just as a news update, it is up to 35. But those people are on a military base. They are quarantined.
That's a 20 fucking person jump in a day, dude.
Yeah, that's
It's also
drastic.
worth noting that the numbers in China are pretty much guaranteed to be a lie. Again, there was that 10-cent leak back at the start of the month that suggested the infected totals back on like the 2nd were probably closer to 150,000, if not in the 220,000 range if you count the suspected infections. What's going on in China is not looking good. The CDC has already said that this is probably going to be a pandemic. The fact that South Korea is up to 433 cases, Japan's at 122, other nations are starting to see the climb. It's taken root. You have native transmission in numerous countries. The only way that this could be put under control now would be to completely close off the borders, including trade, worldwide, and to start containing cases aggressively. The fact of the matter is, the global economy is incapable of handling that.
Stop molesting your mic. Please, for the love of God.
Who is doing that?
It's Drusilla.
Hi, it's Drusilla who just stepped into her home, took off her clothes, got on the game. I mean, I should rephrase that, but I'm not going to.
Took off her clothes.
She's playing
Yeah,
naked.
see? Because she gets home and she just starts thinking about us.
Stripping.
She's just like, I gotta get naked.
Yeah.
It wasn't done on purpose, I promise you. I just sat
No,
down.
it's just a subconscious urge that hits you. You think about us and you immediately start getting naked before you know what's going on.
Put up,
Yeah.
coronavirus. Oh, there's Drew molesting her mic.
Yeah,
Lovely.
basically.
The power of the Empire compels you to take off your clothes.
So,
Ugh.
focusing a bit here, do notice that the numbers basically stagnated for a period, then jumped by 15,000 in a day, and they've stagnated again. And we just had the other day an increase in numbers that came out of Wuhan that haven't been added to the official tally. Something's going on, and the numbers are not to be trusted. At the bare minimum, you can't trust the Chinese numbers. There's a good chance you can't trust any of the numbers
American
anymore.
numbers? Yeah. None of them are reliable.
I wouldn't
currently.
trust the... Well, what I'm saying is, early on, you probably couldn't trust the American numbers because of misinformation. The fact that there are people who are infected who aren't showing symptoms. You know, natural things that can be accounted for. Now it's starting to look more like disinformation campaigns are being pushed at the highest levels of all of governments. The fact that 28 cases popped up in Iran almost out of nowhere. And the fact that this is surviving so thoroughly in a place like Iran, the United Arab Emirates, like this shit's surviving in the dry, burning-ass places of the Middle East. It's not going away.
And shit's here to stay.
The best that we can hope for is... So far, it's appeared that the largest bulk of spread has always remained in East Asia. And I'm speaking in generalities. I know that we do have people in the Empire who live in East Asia. And for all of you, if you haven't gotten supplies already, do so. We know that Asian males test about 5 times higher than other ethnic haplogroups for the ACE2 protein in their alleles are coded to produce the ACE2 protein in their cells, which is what coronavirus latches onto to infect a cell. Which means this is a virus that is most likely going to hit anybody of East Asian genetic descent the hardest. As a result, all of my jokes aside, I genuinely want anybody here of East Asian descent, stock up, take the extra precautions. If you've got spare money lying around, buy a fucking gas mask. I don't care if it looks goofy in public. I'd rather be the guy who looks like he just walked out of Chernobyl and doesn't have coronavirus than be the guy in the nice suit with coronavirus.
Just so everybody knows, you're probably your local Army, Navy store, military surplus. They probably
Army, Navy, any sort of military surplus store, any sort of, you can buy the shit online. Just try not to buy
yeah,
it
you
made
can
in
even
China.
order it.
Check where it says it was made. Make sure it doesn't say made in China, because it might be a problem. Hate to buy a gas mask and have the gas mask give you corona.
That
That'd be
would be
some top
bad.
tier irony right there. Anyway, I believe I've probably said all that needs to be said on the matter. This is something that you should take seriously. Remember, the media told us to panic when it came to Ebola, and nothing happened. The media is telling us not to panic, while simultaneously admitting that, yeah, it's probably going to be several months before a vaccine is ready for human trials, and over a year before it's ready for any sort of public deployment. This looks like the kind of thing that might be capable of burning through a population in multiple waves. As said, getting it doesn't make you immune, as far as we can tell. Unlike the flu, where you catch it, you're laid up for a week or whatever on the fucking couch feeling like shit, and then you're good for another year until a different strain comes through. This looks like the sort of thing that could get you and then get you again a month later. There's also implications that it may weaken your immune system on a long-term basis. Again, I am not convinced that this mutated naturally from a fucking bat or some shit. I think this may have been an early stage bioweapon that got loose accidentally. That's not official, but we do know almost for a fact that it did leak from a biolab. You do the math.
Well, like you said, everything that you've already laid out, it sounds like it could have been lab created.
Yeah, oh, and that reminds me, if people remember, I said that the lab was less than 10 miles from the food market where this shit cropped up.
Yeah.
300 meters.
300 meters. That's not very far.
No, it's fucking not. They're saying it was like, it's somewhere, I think it's like 290 something meters or something. Let's just say 300. Within 300 fucking meters of ground zero is a level 4 bio lab, a fucking infectious agent research facility.
Jesus Christ.
It not only has the same name
That
from the
has
video
the
game, it has
fucking
the
umbrella
fucking
logo.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
awesome.
The umbrella
And
logo.
it is
Yeah.
fucking.
I love
Knockoff
you, dear.
Chinese
You're freaking
umbrella has
awesome.
fucked us, alright?
Oh, Frodo.
All that's left is for the
Nope.
corpses to start raising.
Well, they already are in the form of sulfur dioxide because they're torching the bodies in mass quantities in China.
Oh, God.
I'm waiting for them to be overstocked on the bodies, and then one of them just get up because they can't get to it fast enough, and then I know for a fact we need to nuke China.
Huh, my
So
boob just...
maybe.
Yeah, okay.
What?
Your boob did
Wait, what boob?
I heard boob. I heard nothing after that. I heard
I was
boob.
trying to reorganize my shit, and my boob hit the space bar button and started typing for me. Shut up.
Well, you probably shouldn't have mentioned boob in voice chat, because you should have
you know
known that
what?
was going to
I
cause
am a woman.
problems.
I'm a woman in a predominantly male arena. I don't give two shits one way or the other. It doesn't faze me in the least bit. Sorry. It's called
Anyway,
Oh, that's
we
why
are
we
going to
love
focus
you.
now. Because if I have to fucking start banging a goddamn gavel and demanding order, people are getting deported.
Uh-oh.
To the shadow realm.
Everybody shut the fuck up.
Silencio.
I think that about covers it with coronavirus, which is our super serious public service announcement for the week.
Here we go.
Beyond that, I want to thank everybody who has been working to make the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Legions everything that they can be. I want to thank the people at the top and throughout who have been working on making the 14th Legion something to be feared.
Yay!
I want to thank all of you for attending. I'm trying to think if I got anything else that I need to cover tonight. I don't believe so. Oh! Operations reports. Gonna hammer this one home again. If you get a fire team together and you go do activities, file an operations report. If you play 5 matches of Crucible as a group, just one operations report, just be like, I led it, these people played, and, we played through 5 matches and brought glory to the Empire. There's an easy to use template. Don't even bother with downloading the document file. I've got a nice copy paste template that goes right into Discord. It's easy for me to look through, to skim through. I don't have to worry about downloads or other software opening or anything like that. I just click right over, skim through, and I've actually got some statistics from operations reports the past 2 weeks. Mickey 5 has showed up in 7 operations reports. JL and Pastici have each showed up in 4 operations reports. I've got 2 for Mystery Bee Gaming, 2 for Epic Friar Yoshi, 2 for Destro, 2 for Zeus Godden, 2 for Cal, 2 for Toaster, I think?
Yes, that is accurate.
1 for Deer Jr., 1 for Thor, 1 for Equalizer, 1 for Priz, 1 for Eddie, 1 for the Wimpy Hot Dog, 1 for Bread for Gaming, Warzone Ninja, Maristeam, and Dankosaurus Rex. So I've actually got a good chunk of numbers here that are showing up in operations reports, and I know that there's more than that being played. I know that there's more fire teams than that going. When you complete a raid, throw up an ops report. You do some Crucible, throw up an ops report. You help somebody with a quest, throw up an ops report. And for anybody helping people with particularly difficult tasks, please keep track of who you have helped, because we're working on a new medal system. And Drusilla, for example, has helped some 10 or 20 fucking people to get to Fabled in comp to get their Recluse. And for certain things that require a serious bit of effort to get a piece of gear in game, that we can get more and more people and get that gear distributed and help people get the equipment they want to really come together as a clan, I'm looking at creating medals to recognize those efforts by our membership. That's another part of my back burner project that I think you're all going to be very interested in when the time is right.
Sorry about the noise in the background. I'm sorry, guys.
Is what it is. Sparky, what do you think of that project? Or did he disappear? He fucked off, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Kill him.
He did.
I'll fucking kill him. Needless to say, it's quite the fucking project I've got going. It's been taking a lot of time, and time is a valuable resource in and of itself. I would like officers to remember on, ideally, Friday. If you can submit me a list of people you think deserve promotions or special commendations on a Friday, I'd like to start doing that. And I would like legions to begin picking between 1 and 3 people each week. We're bringing back Member of the Week. We said we were going to do it, but I haven't gotten any recommendations. I want you guys to start doing that. So, Deer, even if
Oh.
you're not here through a week because the honeydew list gets too long,
Yeah.
Drusilla,
If he's
that's what you're there for. You've got, of
Yeah.
course, the senators, etc. You guys who are down in the muck, on the ground, storming the trenches in the name of the Empire to plant our flag 6 feet up somebody's ass.
Ooh, sounds like a good time. I mean,
I need you guys to send me the reports. I need you to tell me who's doing what so that we can properly recognize the efforts of our people.
okay.
Yes, because I've been talking to a lot more people, a lot of the new guys that are here. So yeah, that's not going to be as hard as it once was.
I'm the only chicken here, so I'm the
Yeah.
only one that gets to do this. You really need to close in your sentences, especially when you start it with hard. Just saying.
I've given her till she's God
Anyway,
Captain.
ooh.
What the heck?
Anyhow,
Especially when he starts it with hard.
Aww.
All right, I'm gonna have to go off because I've got to take my bus to work.
yes, I think that just about covers everything. So, Deer, take care. If there's anything else, I'm
Alright.
sure Drusilla will pass it along to you.
Yeah, I'll keep
Okay.
you informed of everything, so don't
Alright.
worry. I got you.
All right, very good. I'll talk to y'all later.
Alrighty.
Alright, dear.
See ya.
Sayonara. And finally, we have. Where the fuck is it? What am I even looking for? I've forgotten. What is that background noise? It's destroying my brain.
I told you I was sorry.
I know what it is. I'm just bitching. There was actually something I'm looking for, and I've genuinely forgotten it. I found it again. I just had to see it. So, without further ado, as I do every time we hold these meetings, I'd like to thank everybody who has chosen to support us on Subscribestar. It's basically like Patreon for anybody who's not familiar. That money goes towards paying for private servers, accumulating to hopefully work on some web development, paying for the website administration, the domain, for example, and any other stray costs that the Empire may start to incur as we grow larger and begin branching into further and further projects. For example, we do have a private Minecraft server that anybody here is free to join if they're
Oh shit!
interested in
I'm sorry.
Minecraft. As always, fuck Blizzard. And a thank you to, in no particular order, we have... actually, I'm going to make this in a particular order. We have Count Mikey P82, Baron Frodo, and we have Lord Epic Friar Yoshi, and Lord Carrot, and of course, a tip of the hat to Citizen Novasef X. Thank you all for the donations that you've made to help offset some of the Empire's costs. We will be looking into the best place to allocate those funds. And a reminder that if anybody does have a few spare bucks a month that they'd like to throw in to better the Empire, you get a fancy little noble title, and you also get a spot on the Treasury Oversight Committee so that you know exactly where your money is going. The moment we started getting into accepting people's money, we wanted to make sure that we had a transparency unrivaled throughout the world. This will also include occasional polling to see what the public opinion on certain uses of funds will be. Because we feel if you're going to donate money to the group purse, you should have a say in what it's being used on. are there any questions, comments, concerns?
I have a thank you. I honestly didn't know I'd made that much of a difference with inside the clan and within each person that I play with. I do not mean that as dirty as it just sounded, so bear with me. Thank you for the love that you guys show me on a daily basis. Really appreciate it. That's pretty much all I got as I sit here.
I think I speak
But-
for just about everybody here when I say it's absolutely been a riot having you around, and we hope you stick with us for a long time.
Oh, I'm
I
gonna.
have something to say as well.
Oh, please do.
I would like to say good night to each and every one of you beautiful Calvarians. Sorry for being late. I just joined the meeting like 5 minutes ago. So it's a pleasure having you and new members around. And and I haven't been on a lot because of my pilot training. So after it's finished, I should be around a lot more often. And it is me, yes, Ailerons.
Well, since you weren't here to hear it, congratulations on your promotion.
Yeah, that part.
Thank you very much.
And Merc, congratulations to you too, buddy. You and I have been through hell and back together with all the other shit clans we've been in. And it's a blast to be able to work alongside you.
Yeah, thanks. I know it's been a lot of clans.
Yeah. I think that's a massive understatement.
To hijack and paraphrase a Men in Black quote, the last clan you'll ever need.
Agreed.
Again. So, if anybody has anything that they'd like to say in general, if anybody has any questions, any comments, concerns, feedback, silly, mushy stuff they'd like to share with the group, now is open forum time.
Since since I got here late, was there any mention of Division 2 activity in the Caldarian Empire?
I knew I was forgetting something. So we have been seeing, and I'll cover this quickly. We have been seeing an uptick in an interest in Division 2. So I am going to establish a poll, and we're going to see how many people we have who actually would play the game. I believe control of it has actually defaulted to Deadpool due to my in-game inactivity. So we will be looking to find somebody to take on a full control of Division 2 operations. And it's your job to conquer Washington in the name of the Empire.
Oh, New York as well. Manhattan.
That's Division 1, isn't it?
No, the new DLC is gonna be back in New York.
Well, see,
Yeah.
that I didn't know. Well, there you go. So, you know what,
It's
frankly,
called Warlords of New York.
Again, I haven't kept up. So just conquer the entire eastern seaboard in the name of the Empire, then. How about that?
Yep.
I had a
Can we retake?
question. I'm not entirely. I wasn't entirely clear on it. Is there motion in the direction of a PSO2 division?
So once it actually comes to the west properly,
Of
yes.
course.
Because
Oh,
I was a
yes.
big Sega guy back when Sega's name meant something. So Phantasy Star Online as a concept for me is a very interesting one. So seeing PSO2 get a proper Western release will be very exciting.
But yeah, that's what I've been waiting on because I played on the Japanese server for a little while, but I ended up falling off because I couldn't read. There was so much of it that I couldn't read.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't read moon runes, so it doesn't work for me.
I mean, I had access to enough to play, but I wasn't getting the lore and such that I wanted. So
Plus, with an MMO, you kind of want to be able to actually play with people and communicate decently well. So there's that. At least in my opinion. Otherwise, you just play a single-player game. So, yes, PSO2 is something that's on the back burner when the time is right. Obviously, Division 2 looks like it's going to be moving to the foreground and is going to have to see a reactivation. Which means...
hopefully this one doesn't implode.
Well,
Yeah.
the type of toxicity we have in this group is more of haha toxicity than I'm going to blow out your entire fucking group because reasons toxicity. So let's just leave it at the last guy who had helped us with that was a piece of shit and is long since gone. And move along. Also, it was a time when getting people into Discord was very difficult. He did a lot of in-game recruitment, but never got the people into the Discord, so when they all got blown out, we couldn't find them again. As opposed to, now we run all of our recruiting through Discord first. Now, even if an officer decides to go rogue and start booting everybody from an in-game clan, they're still in Discord. And we just contact them and go, hey, retard got power hungry. He's been ejected. Welcome back. So we have learned from the shortcomings of previous organizational efforts. Did anybody else have anything that they would like to add to the conversation now that we've been at this for a little while?
And one more thing, I don't think there's anybody here that's joined the 8th, but if you join the 8th, you have to give us your in-game name or we cannot do a clan invite.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's something to remember. If you're gonna go play ESO, you actually have to, like, when you join in, you know, when you join the Legion, it should actually drop a message that tags you in it in the 8th Legion chat. It'll give you access to that. Go into the 8th Legion chat and be like, hey, this is my IGN. Can I get an invite?
Yeah, and I have one major shout out since we're talking different games. Novasef, Merc, anybody that I personally asked to do something outside of the games that you guys are currently playing, like Merc with you and onboarding. Thank you so much for taking that on. I really appreciate all your help. It really does help the clans move a lot, or the Legion move smoother. I think, yeah, Thor for being a great senator to work with. Fuck, there's so many things to thank. Let's
Welcome to a
just
day
say
in my life.
right? Those that have had different responsibilities bestowed upon you by either me or Thor, we are eternally thankful. So,
allow me to speak up on that one.
The floor recognizes Grandmaster of the Imperial Knights.
So basically, I'm going to be the one who thanks. I really want to thank Mark on that one for taking on the onboarding responsibilities. That has alleviated so much on me alone that I am now able to go and help, Atomic focus on some other, on our project that we're working on right now.
We really need to come up with a project name for that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Just because it'll sound so much cooler if we're going to talk about secret shit.
Right. So that has honestly alleviated a lot for me. And any little bit that's taken off my plate and bestowed upon someone else helps me a huge amount.
yeah, Deer had come up with this idea to break down each single officer's duty so that way if we're busy during the week, there's one person who is currently or consistently keeping an eye on it.
Right.
Which was Deer's idea, and I just kind
No.
of,
No, he carried that over from an old way of doing things.
But it works.
No, it works beautifully, but we didn't want to have it be like, okay, one person drops off for a week and suddenly that duty doesn't get taken care of. So every officer has the power and is responsible for handling all the things, but Legion commanders are free to divide responsibility among their officers, NCOs, etc., however they see fit. To make sure that things work within the Legion. We grant our Legion commanders a large degree of flexibility to run things however is going to work best for their unique situation.
Side note, when I do get my subscription, I need to invite to Leanne, and I'm joining this one. That's it. Okay.
What?
You broke up a bit there.
Oh,
Yeah.
when I get Final Fantasy 14, whoever's currently Legion, I'm going to need a clan, and it'll be happening soon.
That will be Novasef who will take care of that, most likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
thank
worry.
you, everybody. I've been trying my best. I've been doing a lot of that from work too. I've just been catching things on my phone throughout the day.
Yeah, trust me, dude. I know that feeling. That's what I do as well. Oh shit, I'm on a break time. All right, I'm in the Discord.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately too. Again, Frodo, I apologize. I didn't realize what chat channel I was speaking in yesterday when I got Disney Plus. I was like, wait, I'm in what channel? Oh crap. Okay.
No. Like when you realize that, it's like, oh shit. Okay, never mind. Yeah, no, it was just more a friendly reminder. Which I do need I do need to say something on a little bit of a serious note.
Oh boy.
It's getting flooded.
No. So since I do a lot of the recruiting for Destiny 2, especially from the Steam forums, people. A lot of times, I know we use LFG and meet people from other clans, especially clans that we're rivaling against on the forums while we're trying to get new members.
Yeah.
If you have any kind of negative interactions with said type of clan or one of their members, do not, and I can't emphasize this enough, do not get into a heated argument with someone who represents said clan on the public forum.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly look good on the group.
If
something starts to go down on a forum, especially when it comes to representing the group, feel free to tag. Honestly, I like to handle those kind of things personally because I've spent a long time studying how to sort of dissolve and de-escalate those issues and to save some face for the group. This is something that I do want officers to start remembering. When you're out there on the forums, you're not just you are representing the group. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, you can't say mean things on Twitter. We're not some corporate shit stain. But try not to look like a petty asshole on the Steam forums, for example. Because that don't look so good on us, you know? That scares people away.
I can't attack trolls anymore?
Was that Mark?
I will have to see in action how good you are at counter-trolling trolls. Because if you look like you're quick, you're witty, and you're having fun, then that's not as bad. But if you're just being like an out-and-out dick and never let them see that you're mad. That is rule number 1 on the internet, and if anybody here doesn't know it, what the fuck are you doing on my internet?
Oh yeah, no. I haven't been on the Steam forums in a while, but I love going after trolls. Oh, I love it.
Rule 1, don't feed the trolls. Right? Let's remember that one. That's not a Kaldara rule, that's an internet rule.
I'll send in that
Don't
rule.
feed the trolls, but I like to feed them. I like to see how well they hang themselves. I mean that. I'm sorry. What?
I don't feed them. I harass them. Big difference.
There's that.
Oh, anyway.
Anyway, yeah, if something starts to go south on the Steam forums, send me a link because I want to see it.
Oh, speaking of the Steam forums, did we get that guy the other day that Fredo was having a hard time trying to recruit?
I have no idea which one that was.
How did I miss all this?
He posted the link in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was
we got him in.
miscommunication going on. He's here.
Okay.
His
But
name
yeah,
actually
so-
showed up in a raid report already, or not a raid report, but an ops report. Two,
but
actually.
Yeah, nice.
He's already in
Nice.
two ops reports.
Yep. But yeah, so even if you have negative interactions with a clan member or from another clan, or a few clan members from a different clan, and you're seeing their representative on the recruitment forums for Destiny 2, don't get into it with them, because they're just doing a job at like what I'm doing and just trying to recruit new people in.
Come on, black screen. Stop being a fucking black.
If anything, if that's your quickest point of contact with said from that other clan, just contact the player, just contact the user and be like, hey, this happened with the last time I played with one or two of your other players. I don't know how you're gonna address this, but just letting you know what's going on. If you want to take that route, otherwise, do not engage.
I think that about covers it, and we'll be going in circles if we don't change subject.
Oh, absolutely.
So, did anybody else have anything they'd like to cover while we're still in State of the Empire officially?
Oh, one more thing. Because I have been doing a lot of the onboarding. Is there any way to get the bot so that people that come here? There's been a couple times people have come here from the looking for group. They're not looking to join the clan. Can we get the command for the bot so they can do that?
So what they need to do is...
So we can distinguish who's...
I know what you're saying. That system already exists.
Okay.
They just need to accept the rules. That will give them access to enough that they can get into a fire team and some shit, I believe. I'll check again to make sure that the civilian tag does that, but I'm pretty sure I set it up that way for a reason. So, accepting the rules is just, okay, this is how we do things here, you're accepting not to violate our rules, and that kind of frees you up to access most of the Discord.
Okay, because there's been a couple people that replied, "Oh, I came here because of LFG," and I'm like, "Ooh, how do I respond to this person?" Like,
yes. So since we have a good chunk of our officers present, if you get that question, and feel free to disseminate this information to others, just tell them to type !accept. So they're accepting the rules. Then, the other part when they join a legion is when they're joining the clan. But they still have to accept the rules, otherwise it's kind of you're a liability, whereas if you accept and then break the rules, I can go yeet!
Got it.
It's a basic ethics.
Well, I mean that's all in the pinned messages on the onboarding channel, isn't it? I think that's where I found it.
Yeah. But I guess it's not ultra clear that if you're not here to join the clan and you're just here to help with something, accept the rules. That's all you got to do. So that's the information there that you guys need, I guess. Any other questions? Comments? Concerns? Feedback? Witty comments?
No,
opening Pandora's box there, but you know.
Well, I'm seriously sitting here debating, biting my tongue, debating if I should even say anything because that was so open-ended. But that's what he said. Sorry, I had to.
Farrison, what do you think about the pins I was talking?
I honestly have no idea what you were on about at the time.
Like a guide pin for raids and stuff. Because I know you don't like the word Sherpa.
Let me think about that.
I posted like a raider, like a little rough drafts raider thing. Me and Deer were going. Send suggestions.
Yeah, talk to me. We'll review it fully afterwards. I did read through it, but I wasn't quite sure what I couldn't make heads or tails out of it because it sounds like an idea that's a little difficult to explain. So get with me afterwards, and we'll figure something out.
Heard.
All right.
What justifies the use of an ops report?
Basically any activity you do with your fellow clanmates, regardless of Legion, regardless of game. That way we can start keeping track of who's actually doing stuff with the group, and we can kind of watch people's activity and hand recognition, promotions, and commendations to the people who are earning them instead of having them slide under the radar. So if you get 3 guys together and you go do like a series of strikes or some nightfalls or something, slap it on there. Be like, look, you know, we started at 1600 hours and we did it till 1700 or 1705 or something. So we did like, you know, an hour of just back-to-back strikes as a group. Throw it in there. You know, you did a raid, throw it in there. You did a bunch of back-to-back Crucible matches, throw it in there. You did something crazy in Final Fantasy 14, slap that shit in there. Division 2 when that's opening back up. Slap that shit in there. Let us see a flood of activity. And we actually pull these from, I don't want to get too much into it, but this group can trace its origins to Second Life and to a sub-community called the SLMC, or the Second Life Military Community, where everybody built their own armies, and we ran around, and everybody had a piece of land, usually, and we'd raid each other. And so what would happen is a group of guys would be online. They'd say, "Hey, let's go raid." I'm gonna bring back some old names that are long since dead. Catalyst was the name of one of the groups that we fought against the other day. Yeah, Frodo remembers.
Oh God.
My only disappointment is that Sparky's not here to hear this because just mentioning Catalyst triggers him. Anyhow, so we'd be like, hey, you know, let's go raid Catalyst. And so you'd have one of our sergeants, one of our NCOs, would get a couple of the lower guys together. They'd go and they raid Catalyst. And that would last for like an hour of everybody running back and forth, shooting each other, and, you know, turning the game into kind of a custom first-person shooter and trying to seize territory or beat an objective system or just spawn trap the enemy with so many bullets that they die every time they leave their spawn. Until you declared victory. Ultimately, it was a massive fucking shit show. Both one side would beat the other into a fucking pulp, claim victory, and then the other side would claim that side cheated at this very specific moment with this very obscure rule, and thus the whole side's disqualified, and they claim victory, and nobody could ever agree, and it was a bunch of dumb autistic fucking know you level 4chan bullshit.
Good times.
But it was fun.
Ooh, that
It
sounds
was
awesome.
really fun.
Thank
It really
you.
was.
I'm glad you think so. Because it was literally just imagine the SLMC was basically just imagine just imagine 4chan placed in a virtual world and given guns, and just wait for shit to ensue. Everyone was constantly trolling, constantly memeing, constantly shitposting, constantly insulting each other. Groups were like sending members to infiltrate each other to get high enough to get specific fucking ranking permissions so that they could do some sort of damage with mass ejections or physicaling a base, which would cause it to fall apart into a bunch of fucking parts. And bases represented hours and hours and hours of construction efforts because it's all user-created content. Things like that. It was a bunch of crazy, insane bullshit. So you'd go and you'd raid, and then at the end, whoever the sergeant or whatever who would run the raid would file a raid report. And I feel no shame in telling you, many groups had a credit system. And a raid report would be filed, and they'd say you get X number of credits for every 15 minutes of combat that you're in, right? So if somebody went, if it was, if it was 50 credits for 15 minutes and they went and did an hour, it's like, okay, here's your 200 credits, and people would make gear, and you could basically buy the gear with the credits that would be issued, so you could get nicer gear and kind of level up based on what you did in the game. So there was a sort of sense of a progression system that was created by their own player base. So that's actually kind of where we get some of our ideas for raid reports, because we want to give credit where it's due, but we can't see every single thing that happens every single day because there's 20 people, spread across, a number of fire teams doing a bunch of shit throughout a fucking day. And sometimes you're doing shit while I'm asleep. Sometimes I'm busy in a project. Frodo's at work. We're all doing shit. I can't see every single thing that every one of you does. There's nearly 400 people in the Discord. So you file raid reports, you make it official that you did such and such, and then I see, for example, oh, Mickey 5 has showed up in 7 fucking operations reports. Well, shit, he's been active. Might be time for a promotion. Does that give everybody some insight into why and how the raid reports exist and what they're used for and some of the back end of how we do things?
Yes.
Does for me.
All right. Because any further, and I'm going to probably start going in circles. So, yeah.
All right, guys. I got to jump down to another raid or channel because, yeah, I'm running Crucible with a bunch of clan members right now. Again.
Don't forget to file the report.
Not going to.
Coming, Drew.
Not going to file or not going to forget?
Not going to forget. I was going to have you figure that one out. But you know what? Nah.
Now, see, I saw the ambiguity in the language. I have like a lawyer's mind where I watch for loopholes and ambiguity, and I have that shit clarified before you finish the sentence. Because I don't trust that shit. That comes from what we were doing in Second Life, because people were fucking crafty, and you couldn't trust anybody. Ask Frodo about it sometime.
Drew just messaged me their names.
All right, will do.
All right.
Bye.
I think that's probably about going to cut it for State of the Empire anyway. I don't think we have much more. Everybody's kind of fucking off to go do raids. Thank you all again. Watch for coronavirus, and watch for news on our special projects and the opening of a Division 2 Legion in the near future.
Yeah, remember, if you got any if you feel like you need deserve a promotion, or someone else you feel deserves a promotion they didn't get this time around, send me or Atomic a DM.
Yep, the officers operate an open door policy, especially at the high command level. If you notice something going on, if you're getting into a bit of a spat with somebody, anything that you think should be brought to an officer, bring it to us, please. We're happy to help. We want to see this group prosper and thrive, and we don't want to see a bunch of stupid shit get in the way. Beyond that, of course, as always, long live the Empire!
Long live the Empire. Long live the Empire.
That was pretty good. We're getting better.
I had a little mumbling.
There was like 2 waves. There was the first wave that was kind of together, and then the second wave that was like a slight delay from the first wave. So we're getting close. We're almost there. So, as always,
progress.
Emperor Farrison out.